the following imperatives must be adhered to. 1. National budget reform to make it more redistributive and responsive to national priorities. 2. Enhanced fiscal discipline to limit supplementary expenditure to only unforeseen and unavoidable spending within the 3% provided for under the law. 3. Enhanced domestic revenue mobilization to increase the revenue to GDP ratio to a target of 18% over the medium term. 4. Limit the borrowing to restore the debt to GDP ratio to within 50% over the medium term as provided for in the Charter for Fiscal Responsibility. 5. Continued alignment of the budget to the National Development Plan to ensure that our development priorities are adequately funded. 6. Automate government processes and systems to enhance efficiency, save money, fight fraud, and other forms of corruption. 7. Rationalization and restructuring of government to eliminate duplication, overlaps, mandate wars, and resource wastage. Now I turn to financial year budget priorities. Madam Speaker, the key priorities for the financial year 22-23 budget are the following. 1. Enhancement of security, the rule of law, and fighting corruption. 2. Sustaining economic recovery. 3. Implementation of the parish development model to create wealth and jobs. 4. Promotion of agro-industrialization, standards, and market entry. 5. Commercialization of oil and gas. 6. Enhancement of transport, energy, and ICT infrastructure. 7. Enhancing human capital development, science, innovation, and knowledge transfer. 8. Enhancing public sector effectiveness and efficiency. Enhancing security, the rule of law, and anti-corruption. Madam Speaker, peace, security, and stability, as well as rule of law, are the bedrock of socio-economic transformation. We all know that. And thus must remain the key government priority. Peace, security, and stability. Madam Speaker, the recent surge in cattle theft and cross-border conflicts in the Karamoja sub-region have been and will continue to be addressed. I'm sure the President will make a comment on this. In a recent supplementary budget, government provided shillings 112.5 billion to facilitate the UPDF to carry out operations and the Ministry of Works and Transport to construct security roads in the Karamoja sub-region. The UPDF will also continue with the pacification of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and forests will also be restored by 1, having them demarcated and gazetted, and 2, evicting all encroachers. And we did. Madam Speaker, I have allocated shillings 268 billion in the next financial year 2022-23 for actions to mitigate and adapt to climate change. Now I turn promoting agro-industrialization, standards and market entry. Madam Speaker, promoting agro-industrialization, enforcing product standards and enabling market access and entry are key aspects for creating wealth and jobs. Next financial year, the following interventions will be prioritized: expanding storage and processing capacity for agricultural commodities within the 18 zones of this country. 2, enhancing the use of warehouse receipt system to improve commodity storage, reduce post-harvest losses, improve value chain management, and increase income to farmers. 3, providing funds for private sector investment in key commodity agro-processing value chains through soft and patient debt from UDB and equity from UDC. 4, strengthening of standards for quality assurance to improve access to markets. 5, establishing a system for issuance and management of internationally recognized product barcodes, branding, packaging, and labeling of Uganda's products for visibility. 6, enhancing implementation of the export development strategy, including carrying out negotiations for access and entry to regional and international markets. 7, establishing fully serviced industrial parks. 8, promoting investment in strategic industries such as manufacture of pharmaceuticals, industrial sugar, starch, herbal extracts, and cotton-based medical sundries. 9, finalize the enactment of pending legal instruments, for example, the Competition Bill and the Consumer Protection Bill, and counterfeits and quality product laws. 10, developing a master plan for the Zombo Tea Factory and establishing enabling infrastructure including water and electricity. 11, expanding the Soroti Fruit Factory by installing additional processing equipment. Supporting there is also a factory in a place called Kakoge, which is handling Soroti fruit, which is handling mangoes, pineapples, and I visited it last Friday. That also will definitely help. 12, supporting establishment of 200 aggregation and collective marketing societies with cleaning, drying, grading, and processing equipment. I have allocated 1.449 trillion to promote agro-industrialization standards and market entry. Supporting economic recovery and commercialization of oil and gas. Madam Speaker, as I reported earlier, we have taken major steps to revive business activities, which we shall continue to do in the medium and in the following sectors. Tourism. Madam Speaker, tourism was severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The good news is that the sector is recovering very fast. Government shall support the sector to return to its pre-pandemic levels and beyond by prioritizing the following interventions. 1, facilitation of Uganda Tourism Board to rebrand and promote Uganda under the new Explore Uganda brand. 2, sustaining and upscaling investment in tourism infrastructure like roads, electricity, internet, and security. 3, easing access to recovery financing at the Uganda Development Bank. 4, intensifying promotion of domestic tourism. Madam Speaker, I have provided tourism activities with shillings 194.7 billion to complement private sector investment and support its recovery. Commercialization of oil and gas. Madam Speaker and colleagues, the construction of the East African crude oil pipeline is expected to commence the coming financial year. The capacity of the Uganda National Oil Company to invest in oil and gas development has also been enhanced. While there have been negative campaigns against the development of the crude oil pipeline, the government will develop Uganda's oil and gas resources in a responsible and sustainable manner for the benefit of all Ugandans. Madam Speaker, I have allocated shillings 904.1 billion towards the development and commercialization of minerals, oil, and gas. Enhancing human capital development. Madam Speaker, having successfully contained the COVID-19 pandemic over the last 2 years, our efforts are going to be focused on improving the quality of life of the people of Uganda by prioritizing the following. Health. Madam Speaker, the emphasis now is on mass vaccination of all eligible persons and community disease surveillance by strengthening village health teams with training and equipping them with a smartphone and bicycle. Additional health assistants and surveillance officers will be recruited to support the VHTs. Madam Speaker, the development of health infrastructure nationwide will continue. The rehabilitation and expansion of the following general hospitals will be undertaken: Itojo, Kabongo, Abimu, Kambuga, Masindi, Kanungu, Kapchorwa, Bugiri, and Amudat. In addition, 43 health centers, 2 will be upgraded to health center 3s, and 17 new health center 3s will be built in sub-counties without health facilities of such health facilities. 75 staff houses will also be built in the Karamoja region. Madam Speaker, next financial year, the Minister of Health will start implementing the Uganda COVID-19 Emergency Response and Preparedness Project, supported by a grant from the World Bank amounting to US dollars 100.3 million, which is equivalent to 667.1 billion Uganda shillings. This grant will finance the rapid detection, prevention, and quick responses to threats posed by COVID-19 pandemic. It will also finance the strengthening of national systems for public health preparedness. Madam Speaker and colleagues, the construction and equipping of a modern health facility will commence in the coming financial year to be located in Naguru. This US dollar 70 million facility will be funded by the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, the Saudi Fund for Development, SDF, and the OPEC Fund for International Development, OPEC Fund. Madam Speaker, I have allocated a total of 3.722 trillion for healthcare delivery in financial year 22-23. Now I go to water. Madam Speaker, national safe water coverage now stands at 69.8%, with coverage in rural areas at 68% and 71.6% in the urban areas. Our target is to increase safe water coverage to 81% over the medium term. Madam Speaker, during financial year 21-22, the following major water projects were implemented. 1, 5 medium-scale irrigation schemes in Ndejje, that is in Kwen district, Ruwengaju in Kabarole district, Tochi in Oyam district, Mubukutu in Kasese district, and Doho 2 in Butaleja district. 106 small-scale irrigation schemes in the districts of Bugiri, Bukedia, Tororo, Iganga, Mbale, Kapchorwa, Pakwach, and many others. 3. Substantial completion of Katosi water treatment plant, which will produce 160 million liters of water per day. 4. Upgrading of Kapeka water supply system to 5 million liters per day, double the current capacity. This plant is now able to produce 30 million liters per day. Madam Speaker, the following water projects which are ongoing will continue to be implemented. 1. Construction of 80-kilometer water supply infrastructure from River Nile to serve 484,000 people in Acholi and Lango sub-region. 2. Constructing water infrastructure from River Kagera to serve an additional 75,000 people in Isingiro, Mbarara, and Masaka sub-regions. The Wakiso Wastewater and Sanitation Project, that's number 3. Number 4, the rehabilitation and expansion of Mbale Water Supply Scheme. Number 5, construction of wastewater treatment plant targeting Kirudu Hospital. Madam Speaker, I have allocated shillings 1.027 trillion towards the water and environmental sub-program. Now I turn to education. Madam Speaker, education is a key opportunity equalizer for human beings. During the COVID-19 induced lockdown period, many teachers abandoned the profession and classrooms got dilapidated in several institutions. But now efforts have started to revamp the education sector. Priority will be put on improving the quality of education to enhance learning outcomes. The following will be undertaken. 1. Staffing gaps will be filled in primary and secondary schools. 2. Training of teachers and instructors on the new abridged curriculum will continue, and the lower secondary curriculum will be rolled out. 3. Continuous assessment will be fully rolled out. 4. Inspections across all learning institutions will be strengthened using teacher education and learning assessment system. 5. Operationalization of the Moroto Constituent College of Agriculture, Mountains of the Moon, Busoga University will take effect. Consultation to operationalize Bunyoro University will commence next financial year 23-24. 6. Construction and equipping of 2 unit laboratories in 21 secondary schools currently without any, in line with the science, technology, engineering, and maths policy. And 7. The construction, upgrading, and equipping of vocational education centers of excellence in Bushenyi, Lira, Ergon Technical Institution will be completed. Madam Speaker, I have allocated 4.14 trillion towards the education and skilling sub-program. Science and innovation. Madam Speaker, we are developing 3 prospective COVID-19 vaccines which are undergoing in animal trials. Human trials will commence next financial year. In addition, clinical trials for COVID-19 treatment for viral respiratory diseases are also ongoing. Next financial year, research into medicine development will be expanded to cancer, diabetes, sickle cell anemia, and malaria. Madam Speaker, in September this year, Uganda will launch into the lower Earth orbit its first ever satellite from the International Space Station in collaboration with the USA National Aeronautic and Space Administration, NASA. A ground station at Impoma, Mukono, will receive data from the satellite. The data from this satellite will be used for meteorological, environmental monitoring, urban planning, mineral exploration, and disaster management, among others. Madam Speaker, I have allocated shillings 274.4 billion towards advancing innovation and technological development in this country. Enhancing transport and the power infrastructure. Madam Speaker, the following achievements have been recorded in transport infrastructure development. 1. Construction and upgrading of 20 national roads covering a total distance of 1,437 kilometers has been done. 2. The rehabilitation has commenced on 160 kilometers of Tororo-Gulu meter gauge railway and 265 kilometers of Tororo-Namamve railway line section. The procurement of locomotives is ongoing. 3. Continuation with the compensation and acquisition of right-of-way for the Kampala-Malaba standard gauge railway will continue. 4. The rehabilitation of the Entebbe International Airport stands at 75% completion, and the Kabale International Airport is at 72%. 5. Maintenance of 5,200 kilometers of paved and 15,350 kilometers of unpaved national and city roads and 21,631 kilometers of unpaved local government and community roads has been undertaken. Madam Speaker, next financial, the following interventions in transport infrastructure will be implemented. 1. Construction of 400 kilometers equivalent of roads to bitumen standards, rehabilitation, construction of 200 kilometers equivalent, and construction of 30 bridges on the national roads network. 2. Rehabilitation of 922 kilometers of district roads and 126 kilometers of local government roads. 3. We shall continue with the development of the Bukasa Inland Port. 4. We shall commence Uganda Airlines shillings 4.3 trillion next financial year for the transport infrastructure development and maintenance. Power infrastructure, Madam Speaker. National electricity access today stands at 57% shamefully, of which 19% is on the main national grid and 38% is off-grid, including solar power. Uganda's total electricity generation capacity has increased from 1,269 megawatts in financial year 2019-20 to 1,347 megawatts in financial year 21-22 on account of the completion of 42 megawatt actual one, the 21 megawatt Nyamagasani, and the 15.5 megawatt Sugar Corporation of Uganda plants. The transmission network increased from 3,100 kilometers in financial 2021 to 3,431 kilometers at the end of the third quarter financial year 21-22 as a result of commissioning of the Karuma Kawanda 400 kV and the Karuma Rio 132 kV transmission lines. The Ruzira substation was completed and will be commissioned after completion of the 15-kilometer 132 kV transmission line. Madam Speaker, in the next financial year, the following interventions in power infrastructure will continue to be implemented. 1. Commence the unit-by-unit commissioning of the 600 megawatt Karuma hydro plant in September 2022, with the plant being fully available in June 2023. 2. Complete the Opuyo Moroto and the Mutundwe and Entebbe 132 kVA transmission lines. 3. Commence feasibility and design studies for the 400 kV Uganda South Sudan transmission line between Oruyo, Nimule, Juba, the 400 kV Uganda Democratic Republic of Congo interconnection, and the 400 kV Uganda Tanzania transmission line. Madam Speaker, I have provided 1.573 trillion to ensure the above are undertaken. Information communication technology infrastructure. Madam Speaker, the geographical coverage of broadband services stands at 66%, allowing digital access for 74% of the population. Next financial year, the government will support the fourth industrial revolution technologies. These include artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and the use of robotics. We shall also extend broadband ICT infrastructure to enable connectivity to facilitate public service delivery. Madam Speaker, I have allocated 124.2 billion towards digitization. Enhancing public sector effectiveness and efficiency. Madam Speaker, public sector effectiveness and efficiency will be improved through the following measures. 1. Continued rationalization of government and public expenditure. 2. Automation of government businesses and service delivery. This includes e-procurement, the Parish Development Model Information System, government asset management, education, information management, electronic document management, integrated health management information system, e-payment gateway, and the e-post digital platform. We shall also embark on decongesting the Citizenship and Immigration Office in Kampala by establishing centers in the Kampala Capital City divisions, commencing with the Nakawa division. 4. The salaries of medical workers, scientists, and science teachers have been enhanced. Very big. In addition, I think I'll repeat this one. The salaries of medical workers, scientists, and science teachers have been enhanced. To a figure which is about 900 billion. In addition to incentivizing scientists, this will also help to improve functionality of education and health facilities by addressing absenteeism and low morale to personnel. Let me repeat this. In addition to incentivizing scientists, this will also help to improve functionality of education and health facilities by addressing absenteeism and low morale of personnel. Madam Speaker, to enhance the decentralization policy, a total of shillings 5.1 trillion has been provided as this directive financing to local governments. Fiscal framework and the financing strategy for financial year 22-23. Madam Speaker, the financial year 22-23 budget priorities I have just elaborated will be financed from the following sources. 1. Enhanced domestic revenue mobilization. 2. External financing in the form of loans and grants from our development partners and private creditors. 3. Public-private partnerships that mobilize the private sector financing for public projects. The resource envelope for financial year 22-23, Madam Speaker and colleagues, the resource envelope for financial year 22-23 amounts to shillings 130.7 billion or 48.13 trillion and is comprised of both domestic and external resources as detailed below. Domestic revenue amounts to 30,797.3 billion, of which 23,754.9 billion will be tax revenue and 1,795.9 billion will be non-tax revenue. Domestic borrowing amounts to 5,007.9 billion. Budget support accounts for shillings 2,609.2 billion. External financing for projects amounting to shillings 6,716 billion, of which shillings 4,625.7 billion is from loans, and shillings 2,990.5 billion is from grants. Appropriation in aid collected by local governments amount to shillings 238.5 billion, and domestic debt refinancing will amount to shillings 8,008 billion. Madam Speaker, total expenditure will be shillings 48,130.7 billion, or put it 48.13 trillion. Excluding domestic debt refinancing and appropriation aid, it amounts to 39,884.2 billion, of which wages and salaries is 6,366.9 billion. Interest payments is shillings 4,691.9 billion. Non-wage current expenditure is shillings 14,254.4 billion, and development expenditure is shillings 14,565.9 billion. Tax measures for the financial year 2022-23. Madam Speaker,
Item number 6, remarks by His Excellency the President.